Hey friends, it's Mr. Rogers here, and I want to go over the answers to number or for Monday's homework, complete and incomplete dominance. Obviously, it's not a perfect situation because I would usually let you guys ask me which ones you want me to go over, and so I'll go over just a couple different ones, and I'll hope that that kind of covers what you're looking for or could help you figure out some other questions. But if there's certain ones that you just can't get, just send me an email and I'll make a quick video of how to do it. And we'll talk about it. Okay. So number one, when shorthorn red cattle are bred to shorthorn white cattle, they produce roan, which is red and white hairs interspersed offspring. What type of inheritance is this? So right off the bat, this is both colors are showing. This is going to be codominance. Codominance is when both of a trait shows. Okay. If two roan, so let's pick I'll do big R, little r. Two roans reproduce with each other. What are the resulting probability of everything? So I think they're looking at phenotypes mostly. It says for the color. So big R, big R, big R, little r, big R, little r, little r, little r. So it'd be 25% big R, which equals red. 25%. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I thought you could see what I was doing. My bad. Well, we're not too far into it. It's all right. 25% little r, which is white. And 50% big R, little r, which is red and white. Or what they call in this problem, roan. I'd probably get used to the word roan. It's a question that people love to ask. It's just a common one for codominance, to be honest with you. Sorry if it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can find another pen or pencil or something. Oh, I think I played with this pen last time. So anyways, so that was a codominant question. Let's go back. Let's see if I can find a different question that might be a little more interesting. Number 2 is incomplete dominance. So I'm going to move this over here. So number 2 is incomplete dominance. And so right off the bat, go back to the blue. I'll just make sure you guys can see it. So right after the bat, it says in petunias, appear breeding red flowers crossed with white ones produce a pink offspring. What inheritance is this? Incomplete. Show the genotypes of parents in the F1 generation cross between red and white. So we'll do A's. It's simple. So I have big A, little a, little a. We'll say big A equals red. Little a equals white. Just so we remember. And we know big A, little a equals pink. It's always good sometimes to write this stuff down because, of course, you're doing a problem. Sometimes you forget things. So we go through and we find out that it's going to be 100% big A, little a. I'm going to put F1 here because it's the F1 generation. And it's 100% pink. All right. And then we are going to do B. What would be the anticipated offspring if the F1 plant from A above was test crossed into a red parent? So if I mix a big A, little a with a big A, and I go through And I'm not going to draw all the stuff because I want to keep going. You're going to have 50% big A, which is red. So 50% red, 50% big A, 50% pink with this guy. And what would you do if you had a F1 crossed with a white parent? So this is a red parent. This one is the white. I'm just drawing an arrow to make sure we're not confusing which ones are white here. Which is little a, and you end up, I'm pretty sure, with similar demographics, yeah. I mean, 50% pink, 50% white. Okay, so that's number 2. That's incomplete dominance. Again, codominance up here, this was both show at the same time. So this cow is red and white. This guy, incomplete dominance, is a blend or a mix. Besides that, it's basically the same Punnett squares. There's not much that have changed here. It just kind of how you read these letters changes a little bit. I want to talk about one more question because it is a little tricky. Number 6, it says, on a fox ranch, mutation arose that gave a platinum coat color that was very popular with fur buyers. The breeders couldn't breed a pure strain of platinum foxes. Every time they bred 2 platinum foxes together, there were some normal foxes in the progeny. For example, if repeated matings of the same platinum foxes, 82 platinum foxes and 38 normal offspring were produced, create a concise genetic hypothesis to account for these results. So there's, first off, I want to be honest with you. It's a hypothesis. And so that means you can take a guess and it doesn't have to be exactly right. So the mutation arose that gave a platinum colored fox. So there's a couple of things we can think about. With the idea of codominance, we could say, we could make it's number 6 right here. We could say if we want to go the codominant route, if your theory is a codominant one, what we're saying is that the colors together, say it's like black and white, make a platinum. And so we're saying that if we cross 2 platinums together, that so if we're creating a big A, little a, and a big A, little a, they cross together, that we're roughly going to get 50% platinum here, which we got about 66% platinum. Now, the issue with this answer is we don't know what normal offspring means. So that gets a little tricky, I guess. We don't know if that includes the big A, and the little a, or whatever it's happening there. And so that's not a bad answer. You could say it's incomplete dominance. You could say maybe it's a mix between 2. The codominance showing like black and white at the same time, making that silver color. Incomplete dominance, maybe it's actually a blend. And you get the same idea. It's just a different way of looking at it, how the color actually is made. The last way you can truly look at it, and this is kind of an interesting way, we did not talk about this with you guys. We talked about it in class because we had some extra time. We talked about something called death genes. This is not usually something we talk about until later on in the class, but I want to make sure you guys get it because I don't know if Mr. Olds will come back and cover it. So death genes are something that one gene type or one genotype equals auto death. So it miscarriages. It doesn't even get produced as a living thing. So, for example, the most famous one in humans is dwarfism. So dwarfism, say we use big A. If you're big A, you die. If you're big A, the big A trait is actually dwarfism. You're a dwarf. And little a, you do not. You're no dwarf. By the way, we're trying really hard in genetics lately in the last couple of years to try to get away from the word normal. I know this probably even has normal in it, I'm pretty sure. Like, just because they're not a dwarf doesn't make them normal, okay? So this is a death gene because big A, little a, or big A causes death. Big A, little a causes a dwarf. Little a is no dwarf. So if we had big A, little a crossed with each other, what you find out is right away couple genes die out, or one offspring dies out, and it creates a 2/3 ratio. So we have 2/3 of the offspring become dwarfs. The two dwarfs have babies, and one becomes normal height. Okay, so going back to the platinum foxes, I had a student the other day say that maybe this is a death gene, and that kind of fits what they told us. What if big A equals platinum, big A equals death, little a equals normal. And if you go through, you find out, okay, that makes basically the 82/38 ratio. If I have two platinums have babies together because they're big A, little A's. So if I did that real quick. So if I had a big A, little A across big A, little A, again, we have the death up here, big A, little A, big A, little A, little A, little A. Give me a second. My lights went off in my classroom. There we go. All right. Anyway, so you find out that, okay, if I have about 100 offspring, that's about the ratio I'm going to get here, 2/3, 1/3. So it's just an idea. Again, you could have done any of these and been right. You just had to explain it out. So I hope that makes sense. If you need help with any of the other ones, let me know. Today we're going to learn about dihybrids. I'm going to make that video right now. And so if you need any help with those too, obviously reach out. Always reach out. I don't want you guys to feel like you're all alone out there. So if you need help, let me know. All right, guys. Have a good day.